Cheers one and all, it's Saturday 24th of June 2023, it's time for a bit of live chess, but first, a major bit of bragging on my part, because for the first time ever on Gameknot, I achieved several wins in a row. These two wins here, as you can see, got me up to 1805, which is my highest rating ever, and this win up here got me to 1836. You'll see, according to this graph, that this is my highest ever rating on Gameknot, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. Also because on Gameknot, there's a 200-point floor, so once you cross into the next level, your floor, that's the minimum rating that you can end up with, rises by 100. So when I was down here in 1400s, my floor was 1200. When I went up to 15, the floor was 1300. And at 16, my floor was 1500. You can see just here, we got really close back in, when was that, 2019. Since then, I've been doing better, but there was always a potential to crash back down to 1500. Now that I've broken into the 1800s for the first time ever, my new rating floor is 1600, so I'll never get as low as this low point here. So what I'm going to do now is show you 3 of those games, and then play a bit of live chess. So let's hop over and see how we broke into the 1800s. In this game, I'm playing a guy who's right now 1706. We were much closer in rank, I think, when the game happened. And of course, as white, I played Queen's Pawn and then Queen's Gambit. Grab back the pawn. Double up the old Queen and Bishop. See if I can perhaps disrupt the pawns in front of the King, or at least threaten to, not necessarily actually do it. Bring in a bit more firepower. Nobbling that Bishop while the Knight is blocking the Queen's protection would force a pawn disruption. Okay, he's not done anything about that, so do I go for it there? Yes, I do. Except now, of course, he brought the... That was a surprising thing there. Having opened the path for the Queen to protect the Bishop and therefore not disrupt the pawn structure, I'm still going to grab the Bishop, so I have now 2 bishops and my opponent doesn't. But I was expecting him to take the Queen. Now he's disrupted the pawns in front of his King, and this is a weak pawn, so I immediately target it and see where it goes from there. Now targeting the Queen. Okay, he's protecting the pawn with the King. Get the rooks in the centre. Queen is still targeted by a rook. Okay, now we start to break things up. Yep, take the pawn, open up the path for my rook to the Queen. There's just one more thing blocking it. Start to move up. Okay, now we grab this unprotected pawn, because he's got, this is a triple pawns is not necessarily a good thing. It's not always a bad thing. It always depends on the situation on the board. But there's this unprotected pawn. Now, if we go back a couple, you see what I've done is take that pawn. I was expecting further pawn disruption, because the choice is either leave this pawn unprotected by taking with the bishop to avoid breaking up this pawn structure, or take with the pawn and further disrupt your pawns. You have 4 rows of unprotected pawns. So anyway, the bishop takes, opening up the way for the Queen to grab this pawn, hammering away at the King's defences. What did I do here? Did I just exchange off, or did I move my Queen back? Perhaps I just exchanged. Okay, we're looking for, yes, an exchange with check. Okay, he moves back. That gives me another pawn. Thank you very much. And also, the King now can't move. Start to bring some troops up. This felt like a bit of a tough nut to crack, because the Knight is quite well positioned there, protecting this square. Attempting to pin the Knight to the Rook. So we protect the Knight, hoping to maybe unleash some kind of attack and expose my Rook in front of my King. So move the King across. Brings in some reinforcements. Move up my Rook looking at this square, which will put him in a lot of trouble. At which point, resignation. Okay, so that got me within spitting distance of the 1800s. Now the next game against Sunju Man is where I actually broke into the 1800s. Once again, I'm playing White Queen's pawn opening. Queen's Gambit declined. Bring out the Bish. Okay, yeah, we don't want to swap off just yet. Looking at my unprotected pawn, perhaps the Queen does so here. Now we've got this nice line again. And the square is well protected by the Rook and the Knight, sorry. But the Knight moves away, attacking my Bishop, my F4 Bishop. So just squeeze it back down into that nice little hole. It's a pretty nice diagonal for the Bishop to be on. But he doesn't cast on this side, he's breaking up his pawn structure on this side, on the King's side. Okay, we're getting ready now to swap off castle. Castles, okay, castle's queenside, no problem as it would seem, except there's this very long diagonal here I'm covering. Knight sacrifice. Attack the Queen, but it's not sacrifice. It's a nice little move because the Queen is looking at King. What's happened is the King has castled queenside right into trouble. What he hasn't seen is this pawn is not now protected by this pawn because my Knight unleashes the Queen. Bang! Smoke that, my friend. That's doing nothing, so I now pick up the Bishop with check. Thank you. Game over. Okay, I was quite pleased with that. That's actually checkmate. That's not just check, that's checkmate, thanks to the power of my Bishop. Anyway, that's the game that got me to 1800s. Thank you very much. Okay, so now let's have a look at the game that is perhaps my favourite game of all on Gameknot that helped to secure my position in the 1800s, at least for the time being. And this time, I'm black. And my opponent, mid-1700s player, so pretty evenly rated, opens with the old dodgy King's Knight. Where's that going, eh? And I do the d6, so both fairly vague, non-committal openings. But I don't know if you know where I'm heading for. It looks like he's doing a King's Indian, and I'm heading for the Charlie Story Sniper, which I don't play so often these days, but I've just started playing a bit more recently. Again, there we go, the Sniper. Not necessarily in pure sniper order, and nothing much to snipe against. There's not even a Knight here to nobble and break up the pawns. So, Knight on the rim is dim, they say, but he's not going to stay there very long. And he's going to stay there for quite a while, actually. Pinning the Knight. Queen moves out of the way. It's all a bit cagey. Here he goes. Okay, now, keep your eye on that knight, because that knight plays a vital part in this game, as does my bishop, who's not being ushered away. He's sticking with a tight formation in front of the king, doesn't want to break up his pawn structure. Okay, support that c5 pawn, and so he advances his pawn. No problemo, get see if we can swap off knights, thank you very much. It looks as if I make a blunder, but I think this gives me a big positional advantage. He's grabbed the material advantage, which has broken up already the structure in front of the king. This is vital, because now my queen is sitting on that lovely h1, a8 diagonal, which the white bishop had been occupying when on g2. But who can resist taking a rook with a bishop? Who can resist it? Well, keep watching, my friends. Okay, looks like he's attacking my bishop. It doesn't look like it. He is attacking my bishop. And what am I going to do? Retreat bishop, swap off a bishop for knight, equals swap, or something else? Let's attack the queen. Wait a minute, you blithering imbecile. I hear you scream in dismay. Are you not abandoning your knight? Is this not a second blunder in a row? Cannot the knight be taken? Oh yes, the knight can indeed be taken, my friend. But we have a strike at the heart of the king with that bishop check on d4. What can the king do? Because, lo and behold, my beautiful queen on a8 is dominating that white diagonal. The king cannot move, the bishop cannot be taken. The only piece that can save the king is the rookie boy here. So at the very least, if I then pluck that rook off the board with my bishop, we have a bishop for rook exchange down on a8, and then we would have a bishop for rook exchange up on f2. So is that what I do? Is that what you would do? Well, it's the easy road, but it's not the best road. Let's advance our pawn. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, if you look carefully, my friends, you see if you pop your bishop over here to h3, we have a potential checkmate with the queen on g2. Because don't forget, the rook is pinned. The rook cannot move. The queen will be supported by the bishop. The king would be toast. Can white prevent that as things stand? Can white prevent checkmating 2? Oh yes, white can prevent it, either by simply blocking with the knight or by offering to swap off queens here on e4. And we don't want that to happen. So this is a preventative measure. If white attempts now to block, we can simply pick up an extra piece. Or if white moves the queen in, it's a suicide queen we just take with the pawn. So that prevents that. And now we have checkmate in 2. Especially when white does a move such as this, attempting to bring the queen over, but it's totally ineffective, because we now move into position for the checkmate move. Is there any way out of this for white, having made that lame queen move? The answer, my friends, is no. Well, the real answer is that you've got to sacrifice your knight. You put your knight in here, I pick up the knight with my pawn and I'm attacking the queen, and once the queen moves away, I'll probably just advance my pawn and see if I can pick up checkmate, but that didn't happen. The queen comes down here desperately trying to shore up the position, but it just opens the way to checkmate. The rook is pinned by the bishop, so the rook cannot take the queen. So now let's see how we can do playing live. Okay, here we go. Queen's gambit. Decline for now. In such a situation, should I just grab that? Let's just grab it. One, two, three. That's the third time he moved his bishop. Third time he's moved his bishop. Check. He can resign. We're going to see a resign or a 5-minute. Okay, we're not. We're not. Okay. Yes. What kind of trouble can he cause? Knight's going to head over there at some stage. We have to tuck the queen back in. But in the meantime, it'd be nice to keep on developing if we can. Well, I don't mind swapping off. I don't mind swapping off at all. Is there something else you can do? I bring the knight in here. That's okay. Now, do we have one of those little moves? The knight's protecting the bishop. Tell you what, a piece up, we're well developed. Just move this castle. See what happens next. Next move is the crucial one. Now I think we may have something, which is an attack on the queen and an attack on the bishop. Attack bishop, attack the queen. That pawn is well enough protected. And he can just step back. It's not necessarily too bad. I might grab that pawn though, and then swap off the bits, whatever bits end up being swapped off. He's given up another piece. Bishop takes bishop. Knight takes. Perhaps he was hoping to pick up the knight. But queen takes. Now the knight is doubly protected. Is there anything I'm missing? And now 2 minor pieces to the good. Yeah, he jumps in there, as you'd expect. He comes in here or here. Here is covered by lots of things. This is protected by 2. He can't cause much other trouble at the moment. So is it not time to bring Rookie Boy into play? Or have I missed something? Quite possibly, of course. It just advances pawn to there, I suppose. It's the most likely move, isn't it? Pawn to c6. Is it time to attack the queen? Time to attack the queen. Can he come in here and cause trouble? Not really. Where'd the queen go? Down here. But if we're here, queen comes down here. Does that matter? Queen comes down here. Attack the queen. The queen comes down here. Are we back on for grabbing this pawn? Let's see what happens, shall we? This way still covered. Swap off queen. Swap off. Swap off or just take? What am I missing? Must be time to resign now, surely. Okay, don't want to resign. Don't want to resign. Alright, you didn't have to resign. Let's grab a pawn, check. Any thoughts of resignation yet? Okay. Doopy doopy doo. There's no stupid stuff happening just yet. Dee doo dee doo dee doo. Yeah, of course. Now the question is, a queen's sacrifice. Is the queen's sacrifice in order? If we sacrifice the queen, we've got checkmate. If we take this rook with the knight, he'll grab the queen, and he won't be anywhere near the king. We come down here with check, he comes down here with checkmate. Unless I'm missing something crazy, let's do it. Whoosh! Oh, he goes for resign. He goes for it. He goes for it. Oh yeah, back rank spank, check. You are toast, my friend. Okay. Did I miss something? No. Okay. That was very good. Cheers. Okay, guys, I just filled up the old glass, and let's check out what's going on. Knight 10. D4. C4. Okay, okay, he's not gone for it. Still can't get a knight in though. 1200 player. Treat all players with respect. Just because it says 1200 doesn't mean anything. Could be a new guy who's actually a grandmaster just toying with me at this stage. If he tries, he won't try that, will he? Okay. You know, that is a trick I like to play on people. I've fallen for a trick I like to play on my opponents too. The Makrotsky, isn't it? The Makrotsky. Very good. This guy is not just 1200, he knows what he's doing. I've fallen for a trick that I myself like to use, but I might be able to get a little counter knight this way. So let's see what happens if I pretend to fall for it. No, he's just going to take back with his knight. If we leave our bishop exposed to the queen, maybe he'll grab the bishop instead. So let's do the knight exchange, and if he grabs the bishop, now we will just take the bishop with the knight, and if he grabs, yes, see, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, because I was hoping he'd grab the knight with the queen, and then I'd get check and nick his rook. So, props to this guy, Jamie Dukar. He knows what he's doing. Why don't we just calmly move our knight back? We'll accept the loss of a pawn, calmly move our knight back. Lost quite a bit of time there as well. Do we get doubled? Do we get a fork attack here? Okay, who can blame him? Who can blame him? Queen come out here with check. How vulnerable is my bishop if he takes? Protecting that pawn. This guy knows what he's about. He may be protecting the pawn, but still vulnerable. That's on stage. Okay, maybe I'll take intermediate move. Here. Here. Ah. Protected. Pawn is protected by the queen. Don't be an ass. Moving away from there, still keeps other stuff protected. Bosh. Go back there. Still, saves a bit of time. What if he comes in here? Not much you can do about that. I don't really want to disrupt the pawn structure. He comes in here, queen comes in here, threatening checkmate. Pawn storm. He comes in there, queen comes over here, checkmate. I move my pawn up, knight comes over here. I move this one up. Wait a minute. Aha! Swap of queens. Swap of queens. Do we have anything here? Or is it all going his way? If I come here, he takes my queen, I take his queen. His one pawn is kind of stuck there. Or if I move my queen to somewhere like here, threatening that and protecting, that might be better. Forks. Force, he takes that one, we come over here. I tell you what though, a rookie boy up there, they don't usually like that sort of thing very much, do they? We've got 30 seconds. Oh, I only got 30 seconds. I only got 30 seconds. Okay. Well, up we hop. Up we hop. Can we keep this up? Queen can grab that. And then come down here, checkmate. Yes, very nasty. Very, very nasty. There's a knight that's loose as well. I pop over here, 43 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you can't do anything like that. It's moving over. That's it. Oh, no, moving over is a trap. It's a trap. No. Okay. Here is okay. Here's okay. I thought I was going to get back rank spanked just then. Yeah, I suppose you'd want to do that. You're going to go for it? No. Take, check. Oh, you beauty. You beauty. Come on. Ha! You had no choice there. No freaking choice. Whitlin. That's still a massive disadvantage, though. Massive disadvantage getting there. Ha! What a game. What a game. Never give up, my friends. In these 5-minute games, do not give up. He maneuvered himself from a massive advantage, he maneuvered himself into a complete disaster of a position. We can say about our friend Yagda that he snatched a defeat from the jaws of victory. And so, my friends, I shall drink to the pub chess bluffer and the ongoing dodgy victories that he seems to be able to drag out from nowhere, thanks to the power of the nappy ale in all its forms.